I've come to pick you up.
Well, that's how I like my girls. Direct and to my point. Woof!
Woof!
Tally-ho then, back to the bar.
Yes, righto, tally-ho there, champs. Now it's time to talk about some affordable gaming from Lenovo. And we're talking $829, $849 actually. If you have a look here at all these Lenovo products, there's a heap of them being launched, right? But I want to talk about one, or actually two in particular, the cheap ones, or should I say affordable ones. They don't look cheap, but if we have a look at all these products, there's a lot of gaming products there. There's, your traditional Intel and, RTX graphics. And of course you have that one without the graphics card, which you'll need this Lenovo Legion boost. I don't understand that one. I'd just rather get an Ultrabook and use an eGPU rather than like a full 15-inch and use an eGPU. You're probably better off even with a G14 in that case, because you get the graphics card and it's going to be lighter anyway. Let's talk about these two affordable ones. We're talking here about the Lenovo Legion 5 and the Lenovo Legion 5i, which is the Intel. The I means Intel, the Lenovo 5 is the AMD product. And the Legion 5 is going to be an Intel killer, I reckon. And if we have a look at the pricing here, you can take a screen grab so you can see all those products and when they're coming out and the pricing. But if we have a look at the ones I'm talking about, the 829 and 849, we have a look there, they're coming out in May. They're both the same laptop, just one has Intel, one has AMD, okay? Exactly the same otherwise. An Intel product is cheaper than an AMD product. Who would have thought? Now, if we have a look at the specs, I'll just show the Intel one quickly. Of course, that Intel one that is cheaper, yes, you're going to get that i5, right? All right, so on the left, we have the AMD one. On the right, we have the Intel one. Basically the exact same things, except look on the Intel, and this is why it's cheaper. Oh, now I got it. All right, so the cheaper Intel one will come with a 1650. You bet your bottom dollar on that. So, the AMD actually is cheaper, so that's good. That's good. And this is going to hand it to Intel, okay? Because if we're talking about these two, for the entry-level price, you're going to get a 2060 with the AMD one and a 6-core CPU. With the Intel version, you're going to get a 1650 and a 1030, so an i5. So the AMD is much better value here. And add a couple of dollars more, and you'll get the 4800H on the AMD system. And then you got pretty much the best CPU going around in laptops at the moment. Not so much for gaming, but just overall, you're going to have 8 cores, you're going to have mega power, and actually blow away this one here. You can get the 8-core i7 with the Intel one over here on the right. That Ryzen part will blow that away. And you can imagine, if you get the 8-core i7 and get an RTX 2060, how much that Intel version is going to cost. It's going to cost the earth compared to this. So all you have to do with this one here is just upgrade the CPU and you got a beast. Because if we have a look at those prices, have a look. The Intel one starts at 829. That's going to have a 1650 and a 6-core i5. This one starts at 849. And it starts off with a 2060. How much better is that? It's just AMD killing it. And I think this laptop is just going to be amazing. And what's interesting is the Intel one, you have an option of a small battery, but with this Ryzen one, you have the option of only one battery. Other than that, they're exactly the same weight, same display options. What do we got? 1, 2, 3 display options. 1, 2, 3 display. Oh, you got 4 display options with the Intel. You only got 3 with the Ryzen. All right, so you can get a 240 Hz with the Intel. Forget about a 240, right? Well, if it's a better panel, maybe consider the 240 Hz. But if you're talking 144 versus 240, just with a 2060, come on, you don't even need 240. It's a waste of time. Although it does have a quicker response and it has 500 nits of brightness, 100% sRGB. We have a look here. You've got 100% sRGB. Now it's 300 nits. It is 100% sRGB, 144 Hertz. That looks like the pick of the panels there, but it's much better value when you think about it. You're getting a 2060 and you add the screen on and get the 4800 and get 6 cores, it'll probably end up costing less than just the Intel with the option of the 2060. So why aren't they offering the high-end 240 Hertz display panel on the AMD version? Some people say Intel and NVIDIA are sort of colluding and not trying to help AMD. Of course, they're a competitor of NVIDIA and Intel, so yeah, they're not going to help them, are they? Now, why this is a great laptop is, yes, it's priced. if you get the 100% sRGB, you're going to be able to do like content creation and stuff like that. With a Ryzen 4800 and RTX 2060, we're talking like some serious power here. And we're talking at a price point that is very low, up to 16 gigs RAM. That's, yeah, hopefully you can put more in there. Hopefully it's got slots so you can actually upgrade to more than 16 gigs. Maybe they only offer 16 as an option to sort of keep it in that budget range. But you do get an NVMe SSD and you also get a hard drive as well. Maybe the combination of both or maybe one or the other. Now that hard drive obviously can be replaced with a SSD. So that makes it really good, because you can put your games on like the hard drive or replace it with an SSD, and you can put your Windows and applications on the PCIe SSD. Comes in at 5.5 pounds, both of them. And we have USB Type-C with DisplayPort, so that's good. And we even get Ethernet, HDMI 2.0 on both of them, so that's really good. And Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5. So for me, that AMD one wins like without question. The only real advantage you get with this Intel one is getting a 240 Hz display option. Forget about that one. Yes, it is bright. If you need a really bright screen, maybe get the Intel option, but it's going to cost so much more. And then when you add all these options on, then you're just going into another price bracket where you might as well buy another laptop. And if you have a look at the laptop, even though it's inexpensive, it doesn't look cheap at all, does it? It looks really good. So this is one to watch out for. And it's one I might actually just buy myself, because for a content creation machine, this Ryzen one with a 2060 and, you know, an 8-core Ryzen 4800, decent display with 100% sRGB. I will have to test that display out, of course. But yeah, it's got a high refresh as well. I don't expect the battery life will be that great. You can see there, 5 hours battery life. Yeah, probably won't even get that. For a powerful gaming machine at an affordable price that can content create, it looks like a really good laptop and one worth watching out for. So yeah, check it out. Can't wait for this one. Tally ho.
Tally ho then, Bobby. Hush, here comes a whiz bang, and I think you know what I'm talking about. Woof!
Woof!